There is a dangerous myth floating around the internet that you do not need to aim a 12 gauge under stress. That is a total lie. At close range in a dark hallway, a load of double-aught bucks stays grouped tighter than a closed fist. If you want to defend the home, you have to run a scattergun that you can actually trust your life with when the mud freezes and the adrenaline spikes. You do not want a shiny, safe queen. You want a heavy metal workhorse that cycles every single time. Whether you are trying to put meat on the table in a flooded timber blind or neutralize a threat at 3 in the morning. For decades, the semi-auto shotgun market forced a harsh choice on the American outdoorsman. You either bought a gas-operated system that recoiled soft but ran incredibly dirty, or you bought an inertia-driven system that ran clean but kicked your shoulder hard. The 12-gauge 940 Pro completely breaks those rules. Let us look at the dual-purpose tension. In a waterfowl configuration with a long 28-inch barrel, this gun is built to sit in a freezing, muddy blind all day and put meat on the table. But if you swap to a shorter tactical setup with an 18.5-inch barrel, it becomes a fast-handling machine to defend the home. It features a receiver perfectly cut for a microdot sight, allowing you to keep both eyes wide open when clearing a dark hallway at 3 in the morning. Time for the scattergun mechanic. The 940 Pro utilizes a redesigned, stepped and vented gas system. It intelligently bleeds off the excess pressure from heavy 3-inch Magnum waterfowl shells, while retaining just enough energy to reliably cycle light 2 3/4-inch target loads. When you pull the trigger, the recoil is unbelievably smooth. Instead of the violent punch you get from a heavy Magnum pump action, it feels like a steady push against your shoulder. Hit the oversized bolt release and listen to that heavy metallic clack as a fresh shell slams into the chamber. It is pure mechanical certainty. Here is the honest critic Tier 3 clean pass. Older gas guns were notorious for failing due to heavy carbon buildup in the gas piston. The 940 Pro solves this entirely with advanced boron nitride-coated internal parts. This slick coating rejects moisture and carbon, meaning you can blast through 1,500 rounds of heavy ammunition before you even need to break it down for a cleaning. Before we move on, keep your ears open. If you think this modern gas gun is tough, wait until you hear about the absolute trench gun royalty we have sitting at rank 1. It is a pump-action legend that will outlive us all. If you want a scattergun that bridges the gap between raw Magnum power and everyday utility, you are looking at the all-terrain shotgun. Mossberg realized hunters needed the massive payload of a 3.5-inch Magnum shell for late-season waterfowl, but they also demanded the ability to safely fire heavy rifled slugs. Let us break down the dual-purpose tension. Out in the field, this 12-gauge is an absolute featherweight. Weighing in at just under 6.5 pounds, it is incredibly easy to carry up steep, grueling ridges for upland birds. You can drag it through thick, punishing brush to reach a hidden turkey blind without exhausting yourself. It will reliably put meat on the table all day long. But here is the tactical advantage. Because it utilizes a standard 0.731-inch bore diameter, you can safely run 1-ounce Foster-style slugs through the factory smoothbore barrel. Swap out the Longbird barrel for a shorter 18.5-inch or 20-inch barrel. This lightweight hunting gun instantly transforms into a devastating, fast-handling hallway sweeper. It is strictly built to defend the home against intruders, and it will easily neutralize a charging grizzly bear in the backcountry. Time for the scattergun mechanic. The 535 features an elongated aerospace-grade aluminum receiver and a stretched bolt assembly. This internal architecture is specifically engineered to feed, fire, and extract massive 3.5-inch Magnum shells flawlessly. Grab that force end and rack the pump hard. You can physically feel the heavy steel twin action bars working in perfect symmetry. Those dual bars prevent the sliding mechanism from twisting or binding up. They keep the gun running even when you are operating under extreme stress, and the receiver is completely packed with freezing mud. When you rack it, that loud, heavy metallic clack is a massive psychological deterrent in the dark. As the bolt cycles backward, the heavy-duty dual extractors bite down hard on the rim of the shell. They violently rip the spent plastic and brass clear of the chamber so you can stay in the fight. Now for the honest critic, Tier 2 soft annoyance. Because this shotgun is stripped down to be so incredibly lightweight, the physical recoil you experience is absolutely brutal. When you load a massive 3.5-inch Magnum turkey shell containing 2 full ounces of heavy shot into a 6.5-pound gun, it kicks like a pissed-off mule. The dual extractors and steel-to-steel lockup will handle the extreme chamber pressure perfectly, but your shoulder is going to absorb every single bit of that violent kinetic energy. It takes serious muscle memory and training to manage that punch and get the weapon back on target for a follow-up shot. When the federal government banned toxic lead shot for waterfowl hunting, the industry scrambled. Steel shot was lighter and lost kinetic energy fast. Hunters demanded a massive payload to get the job done. Mossberg did not just stretch an old 12-gauge chamber to fix this problem. They built the world's very first 3.5-inch pump-action shotgun from the ground up to handle extreme pressures. Let us look at the dual-purpose tension. With a heavy 28-inch barrel, this is your ultimate swamp gun. It is engineered specifically to swing on high-flying waterfowl or drop massive gobblers in the deep woods. It will reliably put meat on the table in the absolute worst freezing conditions imaginable. But if you take off that long hunting barrel and swap in a shorter 20-inch pipe, it instantly becomes a devastating close-quarters tool to defend the home. Just remember, with this specific factory setup, you will be relying strictly on heavy double-aught buckshot to stop a threat in those dark hallways. Time for the scattergun mechanic. The true secret weapon of the 835 is its overboard barrel technology. Instead of a standard 12-gauge internal dimension, Mossberg hollowed the barrel out to a massive 10-gauge diameter all the way down to the choke tube. This huge internal volume radically reduces the friction on the plastic shot cup as it travels down the steel pipe. Less friction means fewer crushed and deformed pellets. That gives you an incredibly tight and dense pattern at 40 to 60 yards. It also acts as a massive expansion chamber for the escaping high-pressure gas, which significantly tames the violent punch of the recoil from those heavy Magnum shells. Rack that slide aggressively, and listen to the heavy steel dual extractors bite down. It ejects massive 3.5-inch empty hulls with absolute authority. But here is the honest critic Tier 1 hard deal breaker. Because of that intentionally oversized 10-gauge bore diameter, you absolutely cannot shoot standard 12-gauge slugs through this factory smoothbore barrel safely. A standard slug will physically rattle down that wide pipe. It will completely destroy your accuracy and potentially cause a catastrophic mechanical failure that could seriously injure the shooter. If you want to run solid projectiles to neutralize big game, you are strictly forced to buy and mount a completely separate, fully rifled barrel. While the Model 500 laid the foundation for the company, the Mossberg 590 and its military-grade brother, the 590A1, pushed the limits of mechanical durability to an absolute extreme. Let us look at the dual-purpose tension. With an 18.5-inch or 20-inch barrel, this scattergun is the ultimate hallway sweeper to defend the home. It carries an imposing 8 or 9 round capacity of heavy double-aught buck. But take it into the wild, top off the tube with 3-inch Magnum slugs, and it transforms into a premier heavy defense tool for the backcountry. It is specifically built to neutralize a charging bear in the deep woods. You can also run ghost ring sights on it for incredibly fast target acquisition when putting meat on the table in thick, dense brush. Time for the scattergun mechanic. The easiest way to tell a 590 apart from a 500 is the magazine tube architecture. The 590 features an open-ended magazine tube. The barrel slips over the tube and is securely held by an independent threaded end cap. If you drop this gun in a freezing swamp, you simply unscrew that heavy steel cap, pull out the magazine spring and the follower, and clean the entire tube right there in the dirt, without needing any special armor or tools. Rack that pump, and feel the heavy twin action bars glide. It is smooth, violent, and completely reliable. Let us add the trench gun pedigree. The 590A1 is the only pump-action shotgun in the world to pass the brutal United States military specification, 3443E standard. It survived 3,000 rounds of full-power double-aught buck without failing. It passed extreme drop tests to meet Navy shipboard requirements. It features a thick, heavy-walled barrel and a solid aluminum trigger guard and safety, making it practically indestructible in the harshest environments on Earth. Here is the honest critic Tier 2 soft annoyance. All of that military-grade metal makes this shotgun a heavy, unforgiving beast to carry on a long hike. By the end of the day, your arms will absolutely feel the fatigue. However, that extra mass works strictly in your favor by soaking up the violent physical recoil when you touch off those punishing 3-inch Magnum slugs. This is the undisputed king of the mountain. Introduced in 1961, there are over 12 million of these heavy metal workhorses out in the wild. Let us look at the dual-purpose tension. Mossberg designed this scattergun as a complete, uncompromising shooting system. With a short 18.5-inch barrel, it is the ultimate truck gun and a devastating hallway sweeper to defend the home. But in under 3 minutes, with absolutely zero tools, you can unscrew the captive bolt at the end of the closed magazine tube and drop in a long 28-inch vent rib barrel. Suddenly, you have a premier, balanced tool to put meat on the table for upland birds and fast-flying waterfowl. Swap that out for a 24-inch fully rifled barrel, and you are immediately ready to neutralize big game at a distance. Time for the crown jewel comparison. We have looked at several absolute beasts on this list, but the Model 500 sits at the very top for a reason. Compared to the massive, tank-like Mossberg 590, the 500 is significantly lighter and more agile. That makes it much easier to carry all day in the heavy brush without wearing yourself out. And while it shares the exact same reliable internal architecture as the budget-friendly Maverick 88, the 500 gives you the superior top-tang safety. You can flick that safety off instantly with your thumb when you raise the gun to your shoulder, without ever having to change your firing grip or fumble in the dark. Let us talk about the scattergun mechanic. The secret to its incredible reliability is the open skeletonized shell lifter. When the bolt is closed, this lifter stays pinned tightly up against the bottom of the bolt. This brilliant piece of engineering keeps the bottom of the aluminum receiver wide open. If you drop this gun in a freezing swamp, the mud, snow, and debris will literally fall right through the loading port, instead of packing into the action and jamming the internal mechanisms. Here is the legend layer. The civilian field version of the 500 has the exact same steel-to-steel lockup and heavy-duty dual extractors as the military models that passed the brutal 3,000-round mil-spec testing. It is combat-proven geometry that you can buy right off the shelf. Now for the honest critic Tier 3 clean pass. When you pick up a 500, you will notice it has incredibly loose tolerances. It produces a distinct metallic rattle when you shake it. That rattle is not a manufacturing flaw. It is an intentional design choice. Those loose tolerances ensure this scattergun will keep cycling 12-gauge double-aught buck or 3-inch Magnum birdshot no matter how filthy the environment gets. Rack that pump aggressively and listen to those twin action bars sing. It is the sound of absolute American reliability. That is the list. Whether you are sitting in a freezing duck blind trying to put meat on the table or standing in a dark hallway at 3 in the morning, these 5 Mossberg scatterguns are built to run. They do not care about the mud, the snow, or the rust. They just cycle. Pick your heavy metal workhorse, learn your manual of arms, train hard, stay safe, and I will see you in the blind or on the range.